Hello, welcome to Sound and Fury Book Reviews. As usual, I am Tina. Today I'm doing a book review of No Song But Silence from Jonathan Nevair. This is a book from 2021. It's a sci-fi from Cantiole Books. I received a copy of this from the author in exchange for a review, so thank you so much to Jonathan. An excellent ending to a fabulous trilogy. No Song But Silence is not to be missed. In fact, I would argue that you could read all three of these as standalones, as while they are all connected, they are set far apart from one another and in different times, which honestly makes it impressive that they feel like a cohesive whole and flow together so well as well. So it's just like, they're just like so well done. They also have the cool like black pages, which I think is fun. What is this book about? A mysterious and reclusive superpower threatens to extend its reach, colonizing new star systems for wind energy and spreading a corrupt political empire. The People's Army, once the hope for a new federation of allies in the arm, has dwindled to a mere spectator in the fight for political control. Alo's role in this revolutionary fervor is over. The esoteric philosophy of the legendary Chin Quinti is her only concern now. But when an unimaginative threat sends a political shockwave through the arm, she must weigh the costs of self-preservation, hiding in the shadows as civilization falls to despotism and tyranny. Light years away on Cole 2, a young librarian grows inspired by a mentor's clandestine teachings. What he discovers with the newfound knowledge reveals a moral avalanche. The political power corrupting his society must be exposed, but it will take a leap of faith to challenge an empire. Yes, this book is very political, which is great. Just like the other two, this one is based on a Greek play, this one being Eumenides. I have to admit, I don't remember the basis of that story at all, and I did not look it up for this review. But you don't need to know that to thoroughly enjoy and understand the book. Just like the other two, you didn't need to know the Greek myths that it's loosely based on. It's just kind of like a fun kind of allusion. In fact, what's so excellent about all three of these books, both alone and as a unit, is how they manage to bring in multiple complex themes, yet never grow convoluted or even confusing. It's so like remarkably well put together. What I really enjoyed about this one was how the whole thing is in third person. While there was nothing really wrong with his first person point of views in the other novels, this allowed for more characters to grow and change as the story progressed. The book also goes full circle, taking us back to Cole 2, where the first book began, but 2 decades or thereabout later, things have, not really improved. We also get to see Alo grown up and on Haroon, which was fun. It's a pretty big time jump, but this distance shows us how if things aren't challenged, things will never change. And I think that's kind of one of the main points of the story as well, is that if people don't stand up for what's right and what they believe in and challenge, corrupt systems of power, the corrupt systems of power are just going to keep doing what they're doing. I mean, it's a very poignant message, especially in this day and age. Another major theme of the novel is environmental destruction and how human greed and desire for control literally strip planets of their life. Most importantly, it deals with how our technology, which we often, as a species, laud as our biggest accomplishments, as almost a marker of our sentience, of our humanity, are often, just markers of our most awful tendencies, that of selfishness and greed. And it's also shown how our desire for technology, our desire for things, is a double-edged sword. We end up hurting ourselves in the process. I think about stuff like consumerism here, like in our day and age, do you need all that junk? Even book hoarding. Yes, I have a lot of books here, and there's a lot of them. I agree. There might be too many of them, but most of them, I would say a good 80% of them were secondhand. A good chunk of them were gifts, and I only have one special edition book. When I see people on Bookstagram being like, look at this, I have like a new copy of this book I've already read. I already own 5 other copies of, but this one happens to have like fancy binding. I'm like, how is this environmentally responsible? Like, do you need this? Like, you have to use paper and materials to make this. You have to ship it. You have to use technology, which uses a lot of resources. People don't realize this, but every time you use ChatGPT, it's like dumping a bottle of water out. Like it is wasteful, and people use them to make stupid, reaction gifs and stuff. And it's like, no, we don't realize kind of what we're doing. And I think this book kind of points that out. It's like, yes, certain people, there's bad actors who don't care and know willingly that they're destroying things, but also people kind of just we almost put blinders on when our lives are more convenient. And I think that this book kind of raises these ideas. Yes, so while, environmental problems are from big corporations mainly in terms of pollution, if we as regular people kind of push back on things like consumerism, things like fast fashion, things like that, and show that we care about our planet, if we don't do these things, these corporations aren't going to bother to change either. That was a rant. Back to this story. The characters are excellent. As I said, Alo is back and her arc carries from her first book. It's wild how much she's changed, but it's a progression that we can see, so it feels earned and it feels very satisfactory. There's a new character, Lazaro, a sort of like naive priest who at first I wasn't like quite sure about him, but then some things popped up and I was like, oh no, I really like this guy, and I grew to like him quite a lot. And there's also a moat, Farah, which was cool because the moats were something from book one, so it really does feel like a cohesive set of stories, even though it's set so many years apart and with different characters for the most part. There's also some really hard-hitting scenes in the book regarding the characters, giving it a bittersweet ending that is satisfying, but it's also like, oh. As usual, Jonathan's prose is immersive and intelligent and rewarding. This one is sort of a balance between books 1 and 2, but is nowhere less fantastic. Overall, a wonderful, wonderful series. If you enjoy contemplative sci-fi that is as hard-hitting as it is thoughtful, you do need to check these out. Totally check these out. The first one, if you didn't catch my other reviews, is... where did it go? Oh, I can't reach it. It's back there. Goodbye to silence. So thank you again to Jonathan for the review copy. I really like it. And thanks.